Guys, I want us to have a conversation about Thomas Partey's contract extension at Arsenal. We're also going to take a look at what Mikel Arteta had to say about Thomas Partey's goal against Manchester City, and also what former Manchester City goalkeeper Joe Hart had to say about Thomas Partey's performance so far. We're also going to take a look at an update concerning Mohammed Kudus. Today, I was watching Lawson TV, King Eben, and also his panelists as they talked about Mohammed Kudus, the big mistake he has made in his footballing career. We are going to check that out and also talk about some latest transfer updates, including what Lampard had to say about a Ghanian forward, amongst many others. But before we jump into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Eben. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it, and I want to begin with Thomas Partey. Over the weekend, he was the talk of town, played so well, scoring a goal for Arsenal. But then after the game, Mikel Arteta talked about the goal Thomas Partey scored and how he helped the team. Pep Guardiola also shared the same thing Mikel Arteta said. So I'm going to read exactly what Arteta said after the game. He says that, yes, that is another thing that went our way, because emotionally, I think that was the turning point, referring to Thomas Partey's goal, saying that the goal was the turning point in that particular game. After Thomas Partey scored, I mean, he opened the floodgates to allow Arsenal to score more goals to win that particular game. Then he also added that we reacted so quickly, had a bit of luck in that action, and that set the tone for the rest of the team in the stadium as well to go and win the game. This is coming from Mikel Arteta praising Thomas Partey. Now, that's not all. Let's talk about what Joe Hart, former Man City goalkeeper, had to say about Thomas Partey's performance in that particular game. He said, Thomas Partey was excellent against Man City. Then he added that he did not stop running in the midfield. Partey and Martin Odegaard controlled the game very well, especially in the midfield, but Partey was excellent. This is coming from Joe Hart, ex-Man City goalkeeper. I mean, Thomas Partey is getting all the praises. Now I'm happy that at least they are talking about him. If he had done a mistake, ex-players, Ian Wright and co would be talking and be saying a lot of things. But the fact that he did something good, and we are having ex-players and also having the coach say good things about him, makes me happy. But then, as I said at the beginning of today's video, I want us to talk about his contract extension. What you don't know is that Thomas Partey would be leaving Arsenal by the end of the season. His contract ends in June. He becomes a free agent. Arsenal are delaying that contract extension. And I want to tell Arsenal something. You see, this season, Thomas Partey has played a total of 35 games, accumulating 2,581 minutes. That is a lot. This shows you that this season, when it comes to fitness-wise, Thomas Partey has really done well. So if Thomas Partey really is performing like this, I don't know why his contract extension is really delaying like this. Arsenal needs to do something about it. The player wants to stay at Arsenal, because if he did not want to stay, the teams that were coming close to him, the Barcelona, the Juventus, the Saudi Arabian clubs, he would have left. But he wanted to stay, and he wanted to fight for his position. He did that, and he's performing very well. So Arsenal, looking at Thomas Partey's fitness alone, so he put performance aside. His fitness alone is very important. He has been very fit this season, and I think he deserves the contract extension. 1 year, maybe 1 year with an option of an extra year, that would be very good and fine for Thomas Partey. But guys, that is the update I have concerning Thomas Partey. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Now, let's move away from Thomas Partey and talk about Mohammed Kudus. Now, I was a bit harsh on Mohammed Kudus yesterday in my reaction to his performance when West Ham played against Chelsea. But the fact he did not do well, we need to talk about that. But then today, I was watching Lawson TV, King Eben and his panelists, and they talked about something important, saying that Mohammed Kudus did a mistake in his footballing career, saying that, see, he shouldn't have changed his agent from Jennifer Mandelowicz to his family. Guys, check out this video.
Because the last 3 seasons, Kudus is a better change of Felisa. Now Kudus did that, or that's one in the man West Ham. You won't team Casibia.
Big agents at the Cassia.
Mendes and Kabian can
also,
or Team Sakasini.
Oh, that's the reason Pukwanuka change Jennifer.
Tibona and Kasankasanya Borderable agents in a counter.
Oh, Naki.
But Jennifer Crow will change the Ghana for Bufuyana.
Yeah.
I know the Onuquan in Ghana for Bibri. Say, Omo manager here on one Nimiam.
Yeah.
Kudus our brothers, and they still has a deal about this some of the command paying for no. Exactly. This some of the commandment, there's some of the command
outsourcing.
This one no ebem. In telling not to pay. Jennifer.
Even Jennifer Monocrano, Omocrano, we a big agency. I mean, this be bar. Omutiminya, Omukoma penny for not penny for not some cats. That is the normal norm.
Because Joao Felix there, King say, oh, cano crepa, born now, abono, and young Musutim no abono. Joao Felix, Sanka performance in Kwa, and yet Barcelona, Chelsea, AC Milan.
America say,
agents,
3 seasons in America, come and say,
agents, no,
3 years in India. Kudus abobo change our Felix. Baba Bia Felix be kwa one guy Kudus team name
for 2025 next season obebo PhD.
Joao Felix. Possibility of possibility of PhD. Say who Mendes. On control media.
Who Mendes clubs are boy now control media.
They now who Mendes could do Milano. On obey sorry they say. So who Mendes say what could do purchase do see.
Office was in the city.
Assembly who Mendes on the control system.
Okay. But Kudus from Jennifer to the brothers in the Busia Fono or Manichi.
Honestly, Rich getting to
that
the big
team,
clubs.
That club.
Okay, honestly, you see, Kwame, if you do remember 2 years ago when we were discussing Kudus and its agency, one of the advice we were giving Kudus was that so we're moving on from Jennifer, he should move to a bigger agency. Only for us to be hit with a news to say, after moving from Jennifer Crano, he's rather dealing alone on one Gasankasana a delay. A bad decision. Me and see him if you say,
I don't know, my answer is Sikari Nabet me about, but yes, would you know?
Already, I would. Oh, say, 1 year careful.
Your father's all Saudi Arabia, Sisia, which man is coming in. So, one a year, baby, which man is coming in.
So, Ronaldo, on Emino, on a Hoye Nancy, Saudi deal, no one a coye, because why you do? In say one why would you see Ghanian now no problem, but if the conversation is quiet to say you don't do some pepe so no when you do some level in say quiet to say I want all the money to my pockets. I want any obey him from so say no if you say he's having a bad season with West Ham. In truth be told, could the last 1 year Aquani performance outperformed totally.
Club and country.
Ghana national team enfa and now obeje na matenjesi anfa AFCON ankoye or club level akodi red card. He stayed out for 5 Premier League games. Oba ye niam fan man. Last year he scored 14 goals. This year was 3. Born in foul.
But yeah, one is a fallacy and fa ushiesa as a man so ane tenako.
You would 2 years to our own change in you.
Fellas no see no so.
Of course. Ni papa. Into feels Ansu Fati Sisi or Siwe or say Barcelona for so chattery. In KJC being a managing and Barcelona won it Conco baby.
Because of Mendes.
Ni papa ne control bibia. Into o papa wa adianimwa yendi nyawo. Very unfortunate. You see, Usha Mendes, maybe a deal be beba. Or betsi be 40%. Check is kana what's na scano so yembe, but the reality is that Aquano do be level be. In this oceans the canon kwanswa, one when you say, I want to be my own agent. Remember my brother, a deal on behalf of me. But why Mendes call our obey, Obefa phone, Obefa Laporta Streets, Obefa phone, Obefa Ebia, Real Madrid Penny Streets. They deal directly with the club president. Ebia, who JCB and answer Uniano, Okofa phone a free wine. Football is about contacts.
So guys, you have heard from King Eben, you have heard from Edelson, and I kind of share the same sentiment. If you take a look at the transfer window that just ended, you notice that players who are not really doing well, players who even Kudus is doing so well more than, are getting good clubs to play. Look at Joao Felix. This guy plays Chelsea, plays Barcelona, plays Atletico Madrid, now at AC Milan. But you can't tell me he plays like regularly, like the way Kudus plays, or has impact in games like the way Kudus has for West Ham. But he ends up going to good clubs because when it comes to transfer, your agent is very important. If your agent has those connections and everything, it is important for you. But for me, when I felt like Kudus was leaving Jennifer Mandela, which he should have gone to like someone who had pedigree in this transfer business, but he decided to leave everything to his family. And per the explanation that went on that you watch on Lost in TV, I just believe that they are right in a way. I think Mohammed Kudus, the reason why we are finding it difficult to hear that these clubs are making a major move for him is because of the agents now. His agents are his family members, his relatives. They don't have major moves in the transfer market. That means they have to depend on the performance of Mohammed Kudus for him to make a move. So I believe that Mohammed Kudus, his family sometimes can, lay some of the deals off to someone who has pedigree in this transfer, someone who has connections to help Mohammed Kudus navigate in the transfer. I mean, it is very, very important. After listening to the conversation about that, I just thought it wise to share that with you because I feel like it is very important. If Kudus wants to end up playing a big team, he needs to associate with agents with connection when it comes to this transfer business. And Jorge Mendes is the best. Look at João Felix and the team he's playing. Look at Morata and co. They end up playing good teams. Your agent is very important. The Andre Ayus, the Jordan Ayus, they all have good agents. So guys, that is it with Mohammed Kudus. Now, let's move away from Mohammed Kudus and talk about Brandon Thomas-Asante. Yeah, I'm really happy for this player. He plays for Coventry in the championship, doing so well. In Coventry's last 4 games, he has scored 3 goals and given 1 assist. And after their last game, where Coventry won against Swansea, Lampard had a lot of things to say about Brandon Thomas-Asante. In fact, their last 4 games, they have won all. And this is what Frank Lampard, the coach of Coventry, had to say about Brandon Thomas-Asante. He says that he is really special. Nobody in the stadium can see it until it happens. And it's an individual moment of brilliance, instinctive but real quality as soon as he hit the ball. I am really happy for him. And these things come off by doing all the right things, all the right hold-ups, and all the right runs. But that was something outstanding. And this is coming from Frank Lampard, the coach of Coventry, talking about Brandon Thomas-Asante. At a point, this player, he wasn't firing, he wasn't scoring goals. When he made the move from West Bromwich Albion to go to Coventry, people were complaining to the point where the likes of Blackburn Rovers and Stoke City wanted to sign the player. But then all of a sudden, Lampard changed something within this boy, and all of a sudden he's scoring goals, giving assists, and Lampard is saying that he is so outstanding. He's doing very, very well. And I said this a few days ago when I talked about this issue, that World Cup is around the corner. You want to be performing very well for your club side when you end a call-up to the Black Stars, because once you end a call-up, you don't want people questioning your call-up, saying that, this player, he's not doing well at club level, so what is he doing in the Black Stars? But then, you see, Brandon Thomas-Asante is doing something great, something wonderful, consistency in goal scoring and also giving assists, and this is something we want to see. So, guys, that is the update that has to do with Brandon Thomas-Asante. Now, moving away from him, let's talk about some transfer updates concerning Ghanian and Black Star players very, very quickly. Jeffrey Schlupp, yes. He has retired from the Black Stars, but we still talk about him. He is leaving Crystal Palace on loan to Celtic. Yes, Jeffrey Schlupp is leaving Crystal Palace on loan to Celtic. And that is a great move for me, in my own opinion, because at Celtic, he wasn't playing. Injuries were worrying him, and he was struggling for game minutes. So this is something to help him get extra game minutes under his belt and see whether he can fight his way back to Crystal Palace. Now, the next player I want to talk about is Kamal Sowa. Kamal Sowa has joined NAC Breda as a free agent, and I'm happy for the player. And you see, the sporting director of NAC Breda has said that Kamal Sowa needs to recover properly. I think it has to do with the fact that he has not played a lot of games. He's fatigued. Like, you know how if you are not really active, it's very difficult for you to do a lot of things. So this is coming from NEC Breda sporting director. But then Kamal Sowa has signed for NEC Breda. New chapter for him. We hope he revives his career and probably work his way back into the Black Stars. Now, the third player I want to talk about when it comes to transfer is Patrick Fiefa. Now, Patrick Fiefa switch nationality to play for the Black Stars. We have not seen him wear the JC yet. But then the good news is that he's leaving on loan to Magdeburg in the Bundesliga 2. And currently, this club sits third. It's not like they are doing bad in the Bundesliga 2. They sit third. And I think it's a great move for Patrick Fiefa, who is also not getting regular playing time at Augsburg. And he feels like he needs to make this move, get regular playing time, because now that he has gotten his Ghanaian passport, it is easier for him to earn a call-up to the Black Stars, especially if he puts in a very good performance in these last few, weeks. So I just believe that, Patrick Fiefa, this is a very good move for him in the Bundesliga too. We are going to follow up on him and bring you more updates. Now, the fourth player I want to talk about His transfer did not go through, but he's a very good player. His name is called Ragnar Achi. Ragnar Achi plays for Kaiserslautern in the Bundesliga 2. Great player. This season so far, he has scored 10 goals, given 1 assist in 16 appearances for the club side, and he was on his way to Como. Yes, the Italian side, Como. Sec Fabregas team, yes, he is the coach there. But then the deal did not go through on the final day of the transfer window. I'm sad for the player. Como was said to be paying about 10 million euros for the player for 3.5 years, but it did not go through. Like, if this deal went through, the player would have been the third highest, or the third expensive transfer for Como, but then it did not happen for the Ghanian. We just hope that in the summer transfer window, teams will come closer to him, because he's a real gem. He's doing so well in the Bundesliga 2 with Kaiserslautern. So guys, this is the update I have for you concerning Ghanaian and Black Star players. Thomas Partey's contract extension. Also, Mohammed Kudus, what King Eben and also his panelists had to say about him. And that of Brandon Thomas-Asante, what Lampard had to say about him. This is why I end today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one. Charlie, we go vibe.